Welcome back everyone, Monty here from IG. We're going to pick up where we left off. And last time we had a chart open in our workspace, and this time around we're going to take a look at the charting. We're going to find our product, make sure we know it's the right product that we want, and then we're going to go ahead and look at the charts. So we had a chart open last time. Let's go ahead and close it and start afresh, just in case someone's starting with us from the beginning. And what we're going to do, you can either, if we want to look for EUR USD, it's either going to be under FX, right, because it's a Forex currency pair. So you can click on that and you'll see EUR USD over there, and you can take a look at the chart from there. You can place trades, you can add it to the workspace and close it. We did that in the last video. Or you can go to the search bar, EUR USD is there. Let's go ahead and take this one. We're going to add it to our workspace because this is the chart we're going to be using to get to know more about our product. So let's expand, make sure it covers our entire workspace screen. And first thing that you're going to want to notice in this case is it says there at the top EUR USD mini. So let's click on that right there. Make sure we're looking at the right product because there's spot, and when we get to commodities you're going to see that there's futures as well, and you can see that there are two instruments under EUR USD. In this case you've got EUR USD and then you got EUR USD mini. So how do you know exactly what the characteristics are of this contract? You'll notice that the prices are the same, so not really seeing a difference there. But what you can do is in the top right corner, right there, you'll see an I, the information button. You can click on that, and it's going to give you the details with regards to your contract. Most importantly, the contract size. So in this case, for the EUR USD, it's 100,000. But when we click on EUR USD mini, you'll see that it drops to 10,000. So it's a tenth. And that means that the value of a single point for the mini is going to be $1 compared to the other contract where it's going to be $10, 10 times more. So you need to keep that in mind when it comes to position management, when it comes to risk management in terms of how much you're risking for having that contract, and if the price does go against you, how much it's going to cost. Now let's take a look at gold in this case. So let's go under commodities. There's gold right there. Again, you can search, but let's add this to our workspace. And because we already have a product there, you'll see that now we've got two tabs, one for EUR USD, one for gold. And let's click on that and see what we have available. We've got spot and we've got futures. For spot, we've got a few contracts there. Let's click on futures. Let's look at the nearest one, the Feb 20. And again, you click on this one, you go to information, and it's going to tell you more about, you can find the expiry date because futures contracts expire unlike spot products. So for now, let's close that. Let's go back to EUR USD. And in this case, let's assume that we want to look at the full EUR USD contract. This is what we plan to trade on. But for now, we're going to focus on the charting. Let's go through all these items at the top over here. So first off, you're going to notice the time frame. It's saying over there 1 hour, but you can change the time frame. You can change it to, for example, let's go with a larger time frame. So let's go with 4 hours. Click on that. And here we go. So now every bar on this candlestick chart represents 4 hours. So that's what price did over that 4-hour period. And then you move on to the next candle. That's what happened in the 4 hours afterwards. The range it went, how low it went, what the high was, the open and the close, and so on and so forth. And what that's going to do, of course, it's going to help you map out where price has been and how it's gotten to where it is. You want to drag the chart, you click on it, you move it sideways, you can drag the chart. Let's do it again. Let's drag again. Click and you drag, and you can go back. You can go back and forth. And let's go to the next item. This is a nice, interesting one. This is if you want to look at what's happened over a certain period of time. So let's say I want to know what happened over the past day. So I click on day. The time frame has switched to 15 minutes, and it tells me now at the time of this recording it was Tuesday. Well, what happened from Monday to Tuesday over the past 24 hours? How has market reacted? Gives me a better idea in the short term in terms of what moves have happened, who got stopped out, who benefited, so on and so forth. Now we can also go to a specific date. In this case, let's say I want to go to October, 18th on a Friday. And now you can see what happened during that week as well. So that's also an option. You can go to a specific date, or you can see look past day, the past week, the past month, so on and so forth. Well, you'll notice down below there's this blue line, and there's two arrows, one pointing to the right, one pointing to the left. And when you do is when you drag it in one direction, I'm able to find out what's happened over this period of time. And of course, I can change the time frame, and that's going to zoom into that select to that area. And if you want to go back to the beginning, go to latest price, and that'll take you back to the price. So let's zoom back in to that level. And what I'm doing is I've zoomed it to the beginning of January, but let's say I want to drag it out to say December. So I want to see what happened from December up until now. I take that, I drag it out towards the beginning of December, voila. So almost the past 2 months. But what if I just want to look at December? Well, I bring that one back, and again, you could look at it from there, the 1 month, and then drag it accordingly. But what you can do here is you can do that, and it'll show you from the beginning of December until the end of December. You can also take it, click on it, and drag it across. So you don't need to keep moving the arrows. If you want to look at it from month to month, you can look at November, then October, and so on and so forth. Drag it back to the front if you like. It really, depends on what area you want to look at. And again, click latest price, and you're back to where you started again. Now you can scroll with your mouse, or if you don't have a mouse or if you don't want to scroll using it, you can zoom in and zoom out using those functions right over there. This next feature is my favorite, really, because a lot of time as a trader, and what we're going to do is we're going to click on the 4 charts, but a lot of times as a trader, it's really important to start with the long-term view and zoom into the chart that you to the time frame that you trade on. So in this case, by default, it went daily, 4 hours, 1 hour, 5 minutes. And what we're going to do is we're going to take another product. Let's take Tesla, for example. We're going to add it to the workspace, which means it's going to give us another tab. And we're going to switch to 4 charts, and you can see what I'm going to do is I'm going to change it up a bit. I'm going to put a monthly, and you can change these time frames. You can put a weekly, and then let's say I want to put a daily, and then I want to zoom into, ideally, for example, a 4-hour, or if you're trading a 1-hour chart, let's put a 1-hour chart. Now take a look at the monthly. You can see that as of late, there's this big move upwards, especially that last candle, quite volatile. You look at the weekly, it's happening on a much more, it looks like a really decent bull trend. You look on the daily, bit of consolidation at the top, stalling a little bit, whereas you look at the 1 hour and it's very consolidatory. So if you started with the 1 hour chart, let's go back to the 1 hour. Let's say you opened your workspace and you just saw the 1 hour chart. This is what you would see. A little bit of a bullish move, but then a bit consolidatory and retracement. And you'd be missing the big picture. And so what's a good idea is you start up, you put it on the 4 charts, within the same window, you take a look at everything, you see where everything stands, and then after you're done, you can just zoom right back into to the one that you like, for example, the 1 hour. So let's go back to Euro USD. In this case, you look at it's daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, and 5 minutes, but again, you can change it the way you like. So and you can go from right to left, clockwise, counterclockwise, however it is that you like to do this. You can see that on the daily, bit bearish, 4 hour looking a lot more bearish, 1 hour, bearish but more consolidatory, bit of retracement on the 15-minute, just a real consolidatory session. So see how it makes a difference depending on what time frame you're trading. Let's move on to indicators. What I'm going to do is let us know what indicator you want, but I'm just going to look at moving average, just a simple one. We've had some requests on that. You can see that there's a I letter right over there with a circle around it, and that'll give you information in terms of the information regarding it. But if you click on moving average, 3 will show up. I've just changed it up a bit. You can click and add more if you want the 20, the 50, and 100 moving average. You can have that as well. If you do want to change it up a bit, so for example, if you say no, I don't want to have the 100. If I don't want to have the 20, I want to have it so that it's 200, 100, and 50. I'm doing this the hard way, by the way, just to keep things in chronological order. But if you have the 50, 100, and 200, you can change up the colors a bit. Blue's your favorite color. And there you go. Now you've got the 200, 100, and the 50 available. So, now you can see compared to price where exactly it stands. You can also shift to the daily time frame, and these will now be the daily moving averages. So again, we're not going to go through each of one of these technical indicators. You can remove it from either there or from where you selected it, the moving average, where you see that check, you click again and it gets removed. So pretty straightforward stuff. Up next, let's go ahead and let's draw some lines and some stuff. You can either show the drawing toolbar, that's one way to look at it. You can select it from there. You could select it also from this, and also you can right click and you'll see indicators are there, drawings are there as well, and you can select the drawing that you want from that section. So let's go ahead and take one of them. We take an arrow, for example. You want to point out a certain area, and or for example, a bear trend channel. In this case, let's drag it down, take a look at it. You can see a bit of a bear trend forming here, on the bear trend channel forming on the 4 hour chart. something to keep a note. Let's take a rectangle and maybe take a look at a certain consolidatory or relative consolidation over there. And if you want to remove some of these, all you have to do is you can either one thing to do is right click and click delete. But another thing you can do is you can go up and at the bottom there, it'll say delete all drawings. So everything gets cleared. So you don't have to go one by one and delete everything. And you can also remove the drawing toolbar, or you can close it right over there and you're back to a nice clean screen. So that's in terms of images. Let's look at the next item. And this really is important for those of you who want to look at the charts with a naked eye. You don't want to have additional items. So sometimes you'll have drawings. You don't want to delete them, but you want to remove them, or indicators. You go just temporarily, you want to remove it and you want to look at the charts. This is especially true with open positions. A lot of times we get emotional if a position is there. We can't look at the charts objectively because we have an open position like a buy position. So we just assume it's going to go up and we're not looking at what the chart is telling us. We're looking at where we want it to go. Now, of course, your positions will still be there, and we'll get to this when we get to trading section. But what you want to do is, if you don't want to have the open positions, then you can go ahead and click on that and you won't see the open positions or the working order, as well as the price line. Let me give an example. Now we've removed the price line. Well, I'll keep it there. Let me put it there so I can show you how it looks when you zoom out. If you're looking at a chart, that price line is still there, and that might affect your judgment of where you think price was going to go. So you can remove it and look at it more objectively. So that's something else to do. Let's go back to latest price. Up next, let's go into some of these items here, such as events. Now, if you were looking at economic calendar events like for the US, there's a big one coming up, but let's just select all. And what you'll see is at the bottom of the screen, you see these little calendar icons. Now, the closest one that's of significance is the Fed's announcement. Now, if that's coming up, it's handy to know while you're trading. So you go, okay, let me get out right before the event if you're not looking to trade the news and you don't want to experience significant volatility. And there are events for different countries. Now, because you're trading Euro USD, usually you want to look at what's coming out of the Eurozone and the US, because those are the two aspects of the pair. So we have US selected. You can also select for the Eurozone. And if you're trading GBP USD, you want to have for the UK. If it's Euro GBP, for example, you want to have the UK and the Eurozone. For the types of charts, we're looking at candlestick, but there are also some other types that you can look at. You can right click and go to type of chart, line chart. You got the high, low, open, close. You got the mountain chart, which is pretty much a line chart, but with colored underneath. And let's go back to candlestick. This is going to be our default. So you can right click, or you can go over there and you can see the type of charts. You see the price. We're looking at the mid price, but if you like to look at the ask or the bid price, depending on, it depends on your preference. And then you've got layouts. Now, let's say I have a certain layout, I colored my charts a certain way. I want to save as, for example, MS. So this is a time frame of 4 hours. Let's pull up another chart. Let's take Tesla again. Comes in standard chart, but let's say it's on a monthly and I want to go back to, I want it to be the same layout as the other. So apply MS, and lo and behold, it's back to the 4 hour chart. Of course, when you have a lot more things on there, like indicators and things like that, and you've changed your colors, then it's going to matter what layout you save as. You can also customize the appearance if you want to change the color of the bull candle. Some people like black on white, so white for a bull candle, black for a bear candle. You've got blue and red, different coloring that people like. It's up to you. You can also do the same for all different types of charts, like the line chart, the mountain chart, and so on and so forth. And of course, you can export your chart. So if it's something you want to share on social media, or you want to send over to a friend, say, hey, take a look at the chart, look at what I saw. Now, in this case, I'm just showing a chart, which they can obviously pull up. But what if you had certain drawings and things like that on there? So let's go ahead and add some drawings into there, and let's put some indicators on there. Let's put, for example, our moving average to 3, and then we can put in, for example, our bear trend channel. And I'm like, I want to tell my friend about this. So what I can do, go there and I just go export chart, and you can see, voila, there it is. It's right there for you. And do you remember how I said you can remove those? So let's say I don't want to look at those for now. Click on indicators, click on drawings, and it's gone. Now I'm just looking at the chart. And if I want to see them again, I just go, okay, no, you know what? Now I want to go back and put it and see what's what. So let's go ahead and clear those out. You can delete all drawings, or you can right click on the drawing. You can deselect if you want to get rid of any of the economic calendar items. You can say deselect all. So that's pretty much it. Up next, we're going to take a look at trading, and that means we're going to look at those 3 items you can see in the top right corner. We got the deal, the order, the alert, and the information. Again, we'll look at the information in more detail. So stay tuned for that from all of us here at IG. Thank you so much for watching.